What causes cell differentiation in multicellular organisms? This word comes up quite a lot. You might see this word associated with stem cells and specialization, let's say specialized cells as well too. The idea here is that when we all started, when baby Mr. Lee was just the result of one egg cell and one sperm cell fusing, I was only one little zygote. I was one little cell. And that cell did not look like the awesomeness that I look like right now. In order to create me, and I'll draw, this is the only human shape that I can actually draw. In order to create me, this cell had to reproduce and turn into a bunch of cells until it became billions of cells. And all of those cells actually started doing different jobs. That is, they became specialized. In the beginning, every one of these cells had the potential to turn into anything. That's the definition of a stem cell. It has the potential to turn into any type of cell through the process of differentiation and therefore becoming specialized. So how is this possible in multicellular organisms when we know that the original cell that I came from was just one cell? So obviously, all the DNA in the nucleus here, okay, after this was fused together and formed a zygote, all the DNA in the nucleus contained my entire genome, every single instruction to do every single thing in my body, even for the future when they become into different cells. So it's actually because some of these cells follow only certain directions. Can I change my colors here? Okay, so there will be some parts of the cell, the instructions that actually code for certain types of proteins and other parts of that genome that code for other things. So let's take a look at our answers. Each cell having different genes. Now that's making me think that every cell has different DNA inside. I just told you they all came from the same original cell, which had everything in it, the entire genome. So each cell does not have different genes. Maybe a better way to say A is each cell would express different genes. Each cell would express different genes. So let's look at B. Oh, look, that's right. The expression of certain genes, but not others. But every cell actually has all of the genes there. Just some of them get turned off, some of them get turned on. So this one is looking pretty good. The recognition of antibodies by some cells but not others. That's kind of a weird, obscure answer. Antibodies related to the immune system as well too. It's not really important in determining why certain cells turn into some cells and other cells don't turn into those cells. So it's not convincing enough. So I'm going to put a really sad face there and cross it out. The cellular recognition of a specific function. That sounds very, very fancy right here, but if you break it down, this still looks like the best answer. So why is D wrong? The cellular recognition of a specific function. So I guess you could say cells have different functions, like I drew right here. Some will become heart cells, some will become pancreatic cells, some will become skin cells, salivary gland cells, blood cells. But what kind of cell that turns into isn't really dependent on necessarily the cellular recognition of that function. The function is determined by the genes and whether they get turned on or not. And so the expression of certain genes goes right along with our explanation of what differentiation actually means. The process of cells becoming different from the expression of certain genes, but not others. Alrighty.